Karai back to Heidger. Heidger looping right to Johnson. Chance to take the lead. A.J.
Adam Johnson just bombing the ball down the line. He's got one of the quickest arms in volleyball, and you're going to see it. Heidger gives him a little opening and just kaboom.
And a timeout on the sand. And apparently, Mike Dodd, it's a medical timeout to look at Rob Heidger's toe.
Well, Chris, Heidger stubbing his toe, getting the turf toe, and anyone that's played volleyball knows this is a very painful type of injury. It slows you down, and it hurts for quite a while. And for Rob Heidger, he's been having trouble siding out. A medical timeout is also a nice little break for him to try to compose himself, and for he and Smith to try to get the rhythm back going, because they had a great lead starting out, and now it's gone.
5 minutes for Rob Heidger. The ultimate between St. Smith and Karai. Of course, no one who saw it will ever forget their 1996 Olympic showdown. Let's go back. Smith Hinkle had 4 match points to put it away, but they could not. Now they are facing their 5th match point as Steffes will serve for the match.
He's moved off the corner, Chris. You wonder where he's going here.
Working on Smith. Smith takes. Steffes is there for the match. Steffes got it!
I think about the 96 Olympics all the time and the match against Karch and Kent, and it hurts a lot when I think about it, but it was a great match. It was a fantastic experience for me and Carl just to be in the Olympics, me for the first time after trying for so many years, and I hope to be there again and have another match against Karch and hopefully this time win.
Karch will serve it. Brian Steffes win beach volleyball's first ever gold medal. What happened to the partnership, you ask?
Kent dumped me 2 years ago, didn't want to play with me anymore. Didn't feel my shoulder could handle it anymore. Hooked up with Jose Loyola. And then he's done a lot of hurtful things since then, including filing a lawsuit against me and other members of the AVP Board of Directors. It was not a fun experience to go through, and because of a lot of things that have happened, I will never play with him.
And that should end the Karai-Steffes reunification speculation. Of course, Karch, the most decorated volleyball player of all time, and he is now partnered with Adam Johnson. Karai-Johnson, it was a close first half, Michael, but they have pulled away.
Rob Heidger, that toe is really bothering him. He just hasn't been able to side out. And Karch and Adam, just superior ball control throughout the match.
So foot problems for both Smith and Heidger. Our score is 14-6. Karch Karai serving for the match. And Heidger putting it away. So Rob Heidger trying to hang in. You never know when a rally can begin with a play like that.
Chris, you can just see their body language, though. They're so down. They're so... I think St. really felt at the beginning of the day this was his time to really win that Open that's been out of his reach for quite a while, and it's not going to happen in this match. He's going to try to switch it up here with the sky ball.
St. hasn't won a tournament since 1993, despite good play, as Karch chops it down the line. So Karai and Johnson looking very smooth right now as they try to put the ball away here and win this event. So Adam Johnson, 4th game point for his team. And going with the floater. Working on Heidger. And Heidger puts it away.
I think Adam Johnson, with such a big lead, just thinking, let's take a little bit of rest, try to serve the floaty. A lot of times with the Mikasa a little bit lighter, you serve the floater, it's hard to handle, and hoping Heidger can make a bad pass. Not happening on that, though.
St. Smith won his first tournament back in 1977 with Mike Normand at Marine Avenue. As Karch gets a serve. Karai on the attack. Whoa, and he hammers one. So Karch Karai with authority, and the score remains 14-6.
Karch Karai took a look up at the net, saw St. Smith coming up for the block and said, time to tee off.
So for the 5th time, Karai and Johnson serving for the match. Johnson is there. This could be it. For the win, Johnson. Tip it, yes. And that will do it. So Karai and Johnson beat Smith-Heidger 15-6. Now, interestingly, Carl Hinkle and Kevin Wong nearly prevented Karai and Johnson reaching the semifinal. Earlier in the tournament, it was a 10-10 tie. Hinkle and Wong giving Karai and Johnson all kinds of problems. But finally, Johnson and Karai came back, pulled away. This was not one of the plays as Johnson was stuck. But Karai and Johnson prevailed 15-12. Meanwhile, Hinkle and Wong had to face the surprise team in the tournament, Brent Doble and Lee LeGrand, in semifinal number 2. Hinkle and Wong in this one, too much for Doble and LeGrand. They won it 15-6. All right, we're coming back to Huntington Beach, California. Our championship final is set. Karch Karai and Adam Johnson, the number 2 seeds, going up against Carl Hinkle and Kevin Wong, the 3 seeds. Stay with us.
Control against Wong and Hinkle, their size and their blocking ability. We'll see which team ends up on top.
International rules are used in all series matches. A match is called a game or sometimes a set and is played to 15 points. You must win by 2 unless you reach the cap of 17 and 2 30-second timeouts. Okay, set and ready to go. Karai and Johnson have won the coin flip. They will serve and defend the north side of the beach. Karai and Johnson in white, Hinkle and Wong in blue. Good start, critical for which team, Mike Dodd?
I think Kevin Wong and Carl Hinkle, they're so inconsistent. You talk to them in the players' tent. That's the one thing that really bugs them as a team. Sometimes they come out, play great. Sometimes they come out and play horribly, and it's very important to get off to a good start and look what happened.
1-0, Karai and Johnson. Tough serving. Always an easy way to score points. And it looks like Karai and Johnson will attack Carl Hinkle. He's very, very talented, but sometimes erratic. So Johnson using the floater. Virtually no wind, so the jump serve not as effective. Here's Hinkle. Oh, and Karch stuffs him to make it 2-0.
This is their best rotation, Chris. Adam Johnson serving that deep float serve. Karai patrolling the net, just putting the roof on Carl Hinkle on that play.
Karai might have had a bad shoulder, but his legs are as good as ever. He was up high on that one. 2-0. Once again on Carl Hinkle. And Johnson has the dig. Chance to go to 3. Wong goes and gets it. Kevin Wong. And Johnson puts it up. Johnson for 3. And it is on the line.
Another nice rally. Johnson and Karai with the ball control. You're going to see Adam Johnson take a quick look at the court. Cuff it down the line, right on top of the line. Perfect 3-0 start for the veteran squad.
Shows you how important the warm-up is before the match. So Adam Johnson working on Hinkle. And Hinkle tapping it down the line.
There you see Carl Hinkle just upset with himself, trying to get himself going. This isn't the start that the kids wanted. They've got to try to regroup and steal a couple points.
3-0 is our score. Early action in our championship final. So here is Kevin Wong. He's 26 years old, born in Honolulu, Hawaii. Went to UCLA where he was a big star and a chance for their first point. Wong is a big hitter. Pretty good set there, and Wong taps it to Johnson. Johnson all over the place, and he puts it away on the left.
That's just psychologically so tough for the young players. They get off to the bad start. They finally have an opportunity to score a point. Instead of being aggressive, Wong hits a loopy little shot that Johnson picks up, and the point opportunity is just squandered. Johnson ripping this ball down the line.
A very tentative start for Carl Hinkle and Kevin Wong. Hinkle chopping. There's Johnson again. Chance for another point. Right back to Hinkle. Hinkle take a swing at it. And he does.
So that's a break for the young team. Johnson and Karai with a great point opportunity. Adam Johnson just choosing the wrong play, hitting it back to Carl Hinkle cross court.
Wong at the net. Hinkle to serve. Carl is 29 years old, played in the Olympics with St. John Smith, where they recorded a 5th. Here comes Johnson, and Johnson tapping down the line. Johnson very, very consistent this year. Seems to be improving despite the fact that he's 33 years old.
Well, he's playing with Karch, and he's playing better than I've seen him play in a long time. He's always seen the court so well in his side-out game. He just watches the defensive play and then hits the right shot.
So Johnson to serve. And once again, back to Carl Hinkle. And Hinkle takes a whack at it and off Karch's hands out of bounds.
Chris, even when they're not scoring points. So Karch is getting his hands on a lot of balls, and right now he's in Carl Hinkle's head.
And quite a battle in 1996. Henkel blocking Karch 5 times. But it was not enough. So Kevin Wong will serve. And they're working on Johnson. That's conventional wisdom. And there's a stuff. So Carl Henkel over the net. The former UCLA Bruin stuffs the former USC Trojan, and it's 3-1.
And for Hinkle and Wong, blocking is the key to the match. They've got to block a lot of balls and be consistent with their ball control.
Once again, for identification purposes, Hinkle and Wong in the blue shirts. Here comes AJ, and Wong has the dig. Can he put it away for point number 2? Yes, he does. So Hinkle and Wong, after giving up 3 quick points, scored 2 of their own. Nice transition here. And they are back in it. We are going to continue with more of the Oldsmobile Alero Beach Volleyball Series. 3-2 our score in Huntington Beach. Named here, I'm Chris Marlowe. My partner is Mike Dodd. This is the U.S. Olympic Challenge. Winner of this tournament represents the United States in the upcoming Pan American Games. Kevin Wong set to serve. And Johnson taps it down. Karai and Johnson got the opening 3 points, and then Hinkle and Wong scored 2 in a row. That's where we stand now. And so Karch will serve. Lots of lollipop serving. Very, very easy. Here comes Henkel. And a chance for a point. Karch got a block on the right side. Right back to Kevin Wong.
Overtime.
Wong blasts it. Johnson with a dig, and he scores a point. How about that? Adam Johnson with the spear gun.
Adam Johnson's just playing great defense all weekend, hovering behind the Karai block. A little lucky that time. Sometimes you better be lucky than good. Sticking that left paw out and just popping it straight over.
4-2 now. Karai second on the all-time win list behind St. John Smith, who has 139. Karch should catch him sometime a little bit later this summer. Here's Carl Henkel once again. And Henkel chops it sideways. So Carl Henkel gets the kill.
Karai being very consistent. He's keeping that ball on Carl. He feels like he's got the answer, and he's going to stick with his program.
Henkel's father was a volleyball coach in high school, and yet Carl didn't play for him. He played for the rival high school. Here comes Johnson. Nobody up, and he blasts it. So Kevin Wong thought Karch was going on too, got faked out. Johnson gets the kill, a kill just being a successful spike. And our score remains 4-2. Karai Johnson lead it. Henkel huffing and puffing just a bit. He's getting all the serves. Another lollipop. Here comes Carl. Karai blocks him, and it's a point. So Karai seems to know where Henkel is hitting, at least so far today, Mike.
And Karch Karai moving his hands so well at the net. He's just reading the hitter and moves his hands cross court. He's not getting a lot of roofs straight down, but he's soft blocking. He's blocking it deep back into the court and just wreaking a lot of havoc for Carl Hinkle at the net right now.
So Adam Johnson, who was born in Portland, Oregon, now living in San Clemente, California. He's won 37 times. Lots of float serves. Wong poaches. Wong on the back set. Wong left side, and he hammers it. That was his trademark at UCLA.
Kevin Wong makes a nice move on this play. He steps into the middle of the court, makes the pass, and then swings around and just beats the ball from the left side down the line.
Wong, one of the first collegiate players to utilize the big jump serve. As Henkel's fists indicate, he's taking ball, trying to stuff it. Blocks it back. Here comes AJ. He's blocked. Karch may have tossed that one, but no call. Henkel goes and gets it. Here comes Wong on the run, and Karch stuffs it.
So you got to be getting a little frustrated now if you're the young team. A lot of blocks, but a lot of great covering for Karai and Johnson, covering each other and making the final plays. You see that little set there from Karch Karai. That was the one the young players were questioning. Might have been a lift.
So Karch, who has won with 11 different partners, that's second on the all-time list of the great Ron Von Hagen. Karai and Johnson lead 5-2. Henkel trying to get by Karai, but Johnson is there. AJ, nobody up, and he dribbles it. Wong has it. Here comes Wong, and he floats it out of bounds. So Johnson and Karai playing smoothly. Hinkle and Wong in trouble a bit.
Another great defensive play for Johnson. And for Hinkle and Wong, they get a free ball. Adam just dribbling it off the top of the net. You've got to make a solid 1-2-3 and convert in the transition, and they're just not doing it right now, Chris.
Hinkle and Wong call the first of their 2 timeouts. We'll come back to Huntington Beach. Karai and Johnson lead it 6-2. Forged a 6-2 lead. And Karch continues to serve. So far, the veterans have looked very, very smooth.
You out. Hey,
the service there, and the side out to Carl Henkel and Kevin Wong.
Uncharacteristic, Karai. You're not going to see him miss a lot of serves coming out of a timeout. Good timeout for Hinkle and Wong. Hopefully they can regroup because you don't want to let more points slip away right now.
Carl Henkel serving. He's got most of the serves. Karch with the blast. Karai once jumped 40 inches. I don't think he does that now, but he still gets out of the sand very well.
Very close to 40. His legs are marvelous, and his arm seems to be getting better and better each week, and he's getting more and more snap on top of the ball.
And a shank pass, and that's going to be another point for Adam Johnson and Karai. Make it 7-2.
Well, Chris, you call them the lollipops, but this float serve that Adam Johnson's putting on Carl Hinkle has given him all kinds of trouble. Carl just unable to control that ball, ricocheting off his arms.
Look easy, but perhaps they're moving a little bit more. Ryan Johnson with a couple of aces. Johnson again. Johnson looking for 8. Oh, and Johnson sizzles one cross court.
And Chris, again, it's the ball control. Poor set from Wong. Adam Johnson scooping everything up on defense.
We're set for a side change. We're coming back to the U.S. Olympic Challenge. Karai and Johnson dominating the youngsters right now. They lead it 8-2.
Yes, you people there. You're on the now.
Wong, you've really got to try to settle things down, and it's going to start with their ball control. They've got to pass and set each other better, get some side outs, and give themselves chances to get some blocks and get some defensive plays and put a little bit of pressure back on Karai and Johnson.
Adam Johnson set to serve, winning a silver in New York a summer ago, and they're working on Carl Henkel. Henkel without the hat. And Henkel smacks one. Good play. His partner Kevin Wong wearing a white hat. And if Henkel looks a little more tired, he should be. Out of the 14 serves, he has received now 13 of them.
Well, not so tired as he is, just disappointed with his play up to this point. This is a big final for them. They haven't gotten to a lot of finals, and they definitely want to try to do a little better than what they've done so far.
Here comes Adam Johnson. He has been perfect so far. Wong gets the dig, back over the net, however. Here comes Karch, and he is blocked by Carl. So Hinkle blocks Karai, and it's 8-3.
So Wong with a great dig, and Henkel coming back, taking Karai's cross court. Maybe this is the kind of play that's going to get them going.
We talked about the win totals of both teams. Henkel and Wong have never won a tournament together. Karai and Johnson, 173 wins. Here comes Johnson, and taps it down the line. Johnson very adept at shooting both ways.
Adam Johnson, again, seeing the court so well. But now it's Hinkle and Wong starting to touch some more balls, getting the blocks, getting the plays on defense, trying to get themselves going.
Earlier in his career, Adam Johnson had heat and dehydration problems. No more. He's taking some supplements, eating a good diet, and in good shape. As Carl Hinkle smacks one down. So after a rocky start, Carl Hinkle starting to get his groove together.
Chris, Carl's looked much better on his last 2 side outs. More smooth, reaching higher and snapping the ball deep middle and cross court.
Hinkle. And here comes Johnson. And he is stuffed in the big wingspan of Kevin Wong.
There you see Kevin showing a little bit of emotion here. He's going to split block, get Johnson with the left hand, do a little fist pump, and try to get himself and his partner more fired up and into the match.
2 in a row for Hinkle Wong. Now 8-4. Serving Johnson exclusively. And another stuff. Wong is a great blocker. He was at UCLA under Al Skates. And he has brought his team to within 3. And Johnson having problems now.
Mentioning Al Skates, what a great blocking coach he is. And when you can block, you can score points quickly. And Hinkle and Wong can get themselves back into the match.
Hinkle and Wong, the the leaders in blocks. Johnson tapping. A lot of people would ask, why doesn't Johnson just tap it over the block like that every time? Your response?
Well, it's all in the defense. If you can keep them out of balance, if you can hit a few, dink a few, work the defense over, it's going to work to your advantage in siding out. And Adam Johnson, he gets roofed twice. He's a smart player. He takes a good look and dinks it down the line.
Adam Johnson serving. His team leading 8-5. That pass there. Hinkle into the middle. And he hits it off Karch out of bounds.
Nice saving play for Carl Hinkle. Chris, offensively, when you're trying to side out, you just want to try to keep the team out of rhythm. If you dink every time, no matter how well you see the court, sooner or later, the players will adjust. They'll start picking you up, same as if you keep swinging every time.
Johnson smacking cross court. Adam Johnson, the 1994 King of the Beach, so he has all-around credentials. Took him a long time to get with Karch, though, didn't it?
Sure did. And Chris, this is the mark of a veteran squad. They gave up a few points, Adam Johnson giving him up particularly, and then he settles down, and now he's getting the side outs.
8-5. Here comes Carl Hinkle, and Johnson has the dig to go to 9-5. Johnson, no, he's rejected again. So Kevin Wong has Adam Johnson in the phone booth at the moment.
Chris, sometimes the biggest plays in match aren't scoring points, but saving side outs. Here Kevin Wong getting way over the net, roofing Johnson and saving the side out for his team.
Score remains 8-5. Johnson trying to get by Wong, and he hit it out. So that's another point. 8-6 now. So Henkel and Wong getting it together.
So Kevin Wong with 3 stuff blocks and an unforced error for Adam Johnson. They're going to keep it on Adam right now.
Still no timeout for Karai and Johnson. Remember, you're only allotted 2. Johnson, and he loops it out of bounds.
Very uncharacteristic. 2 straight unforced errors for Adam Johnson.
Carl Hinkle and Kevin Wong are smoking. They were down 8-2. They have scored 5 in a row, and they are back in the championship final. Stay with us. More from Huntington Beach after this. Big challenge. Chris Marlowe and beach superstar of yesteryear Mike Dodd. 8-7. Karai and Johnson seemingly moments ago had control of this match, but Hinkle and Wong have fought back.
And now it's for Karai and Johnson to try to regroup. They got the break, they've got the side change. Let's try to get the momentum back and get things going in the other direction. For Hinkle and Wong, you just want to keep things going.
So Johnson has been struggling. They've won 10 times together, so there are veterans. And let's see if Hinkle and Wong go right back to Adam Johnson. That's where they've made their mark and gotten their points. And they do. Here comes Johnson. And Johnson smacks it cross court. Is that his favorite shot, or does he prefer line?
I don't think so. He mixes it up so well. I think when he hits with power, he hits more cross court, but he can whip it down the line. He's really a complete offensive player.
So Adam Johnson, who has won most of his tournaments with Jose Loyola, has 11 with Jose. And if they were to win today, of course, he and Karch would tie that mark. Here comes Hinkle, and Johnson spears it up. Right back to Henkel. Johnson playing good defense. Isn't he playing good defense? Joust coming at the net. Popped over. Karch has it. Can he put it away? Yes, he does.
Just great playing all the way around, Chris. And if you're Hinkle and Wong, just kind of a heartbreaking finish to that rally. They were both there for the ball. No communication, and the ball just ends up ricocheting off the both of them. But great defense from Adam Johnson. 2 spectacular digs. You're going to see Karch with the backhand flipper here, a la Andy Fishburne. And here's the easy play, no communication. And Karai just looks up in the heavens and says, thank you for the easy point.
The lead is now 2. We're playing to 15. And Johnson set to serve. So Johnson clearing the runway. Normally he'd do this for a jump serve, but we haven't seen nary a jumper today. Light wind. And Johnson going with a floaty. Had some success earlier on this side on Henkel. Here comes Carl, and he taps it right over the top of Karai.
There you see Hinkle shaking his head, going, why didn't I do that earlier? Just smooth, high reach, snappy over the block down the line.
So Wong will serve it. Henkel patrolling the net. Henkel's an outstanding blocker, especially if he gets hot. Johnson and off Wong. There's a play you have to come up with. That was right to Wong, a little bit to his left.
Johnson's still putting a lot of heat on the ball, but you're right, Chris. Good block, funneling the ball right to the defensive player. Kevin Wong's got to gobble that thing up.
9-7. Karai serving. Hinkle on the run, looping over Johnson. A nice finesse play for Carl Hinkle.
Nice save for Carl. That was a good opportunity for Johnson and Karai. Unable to pick the ball up is Adam Johnson in the backcourt.
Johnson again. And Johnson puts it away. At what point do Hinkle and Wong on this side try Karch a couple of times?
Well, sooner or later they're going to have to. Adam Johnson, he's made some unforced errors. They've blocked him a few times. But all in all, throughout the whole match, he's been a fairly consistent side-out performer right now.
Floater working on Carl Hinkle. And Johnson is there. Chance for the 10th point. Wow, that was an ugly set. Karch kind of jacked it up there. But it went, and Johnson put it away.
In this series, we're playing the more lenient FIVB international rules, and you're not going to see a lot of arguing from Hinkle and Wong. They're used to seeing that kind of ball handling on the FIVB tour.
10-7 now, as Johnson and Karai have scored 2 in a row. Hinkle, Johnson with another dig. He's looking for another point. AJ puts it away.
Hinkle is just thoroughly disgusted with himself right now. He can't figure out Adam Johnson defensively. Adam guessing right. Hinkle's even shaking his head during the middle of the rally, Chris, and that's not the kind of attitude you need to get yourself back into this match.
Adam Johnson set to serve. Ryan Johnson with momentum now. And a timeout. So, while we have a moment, let's document how some of the other teams finished here at the Oldsmobile Alero Series. First up, the #1 seeded team of Bill Bullion and Ian Clark. They lost their opening match to Scott Friedrichsen and Kevin Martin and never recovered.
And after winning the last FIVB event, a very disappointing finish for Ian and Bill.
Another team that struggled, Dane Blanton and Eric Fenoy-Moana.
Well, Fenoy and Blanton were coming off a big AVP win in Clearwater, and again, they were disappointed as well.
They got a ninth. Matt Unger and Mike Whitmarsh playing together for the first time. They got ninth.
Well, this was kind of a friendship couple. They got together. Whitmarsh coming off knee surgery. They just really came out to have some fun, and they did that as well.
You saw Dax Holdren and Todd Rogers. They got a 5th. Brian Lewis and David Swannick, they had their moments and got a 7th.
Well, Louis and Swati, they lost a real tough match to Smith and Heidger, and they just didn't bounce back after that.
The standings, kudos to Scott Friedrichsen and Kevin Martin. They get a great 5th, and Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes, 2 veterans from yesteryear. We'll continue. We'll have more right after this. Women's draw, 4 squads figure to contend. Nancy Reno and Holly McPeak back together again. ESPN. Back to center court in our championship final. Karai and Johnson led at 1 point 8-2. Hinkle and Wong caught up to 8-7. But since then, Karai and Johnson have scored 3 in a row.
Chris, and now it's really a gut check time for Hinkle and Wong. Down 11-7. They can't let a lot more points slip through their fingers.
It's a game to 15 with a cap of 17. And Carl Hinkle has been getting a workout. He has been served from the opening play to right there. Right, just missing that one. And it's a side out for Hinkle and Wong.
Karch just a little late pressing over on that block, letting the spike of Hinkle slip over the net.
So Kevin Wong serving. And maybe a subtle change in strategy as he goes to Karai. And he's got to dig up. Chance for a point. Wong buries it. No doubt about Kevin Wong in terms of hitting. He can really blast it.
Great in transition. When they can pick up the balls on defense, they're great at finishing. And you mentioned it, Chris, a nice little strategy going over to Karch Karai. Karch hasn't seen a lot of serves and picking up the little loopy.
Let's get back on Karch. He's ready this time. When I was playing back in the 60s and 70s, a 3-to-1 ratio was good. 3 on the bad guy, 1 on the good guy, if you're not sure.
Just to mix things up.
Yeah. So Karai, you see the legs that propel him. Still powerful. Working on Hinkle. Karch got a tip of it. He's got a... No, went over. Here comes Wong. And Wong, he's long. And Karai and Johnson get another point.
And Chris, again, another free ball just waffled out of bounds.
Timeout on the sand will return to the old Alero. Beach Volleyball Series 12-8, Karai and Johnson. We're in the midst of our men's championship final. Karai and Adam Johnson leading 12-8. The winner of this match receives an automatic bid to the Pan American Games, and 15 of the 20 scored on the good side, Michael. Karai serving. Trying to get point number 13, Henkel, and Hinkle into the bottom of the net. That makes it 13-8.
And Chris, Karch is just in Carl's head right now. He's giving him all kinds of fits up at the net. Carl just dropping his arm and hitting it into the net. And another unforced error and a very frustrated Carl Hinkle.
Maybe fatiguing also, as he's got most of the serves, and Karch stuffs it.
And you just see Carl Hinkle, he's clapping his hands. He's so disappointed, he's just mad at himself, and he just can't figure out the solution to Karai at the net right now, and we've got ourselves a match point.
7-1 scoring run by Karai Johnson. First match point. Henkel. Karch pokes it over. Here comes Wong, and he puts it away. So Kevin Wong and Carl Henkel in big trouble right now. They trail 14-8. They need the miracle rally.
Nice little cut shot for Kevin Wong, but great reactions for Karai. He's up there blocking, ball hitting the top of the net, keeping that rally going. He's just still such a phenomenal athlete.
Carl Henkel to serve. A little surprised he doesn't try a jump serve here. Maybe try to reel off a couple. Here comes Johnson, and you heard Karch say cut, and Johnson did.
Great communication from this squad. They've been playing together 3 years now. When they first started playing in 1997, a lot of real tough results. Karch was coming off that shoulder surgery. They stuck it out, and now they're starting to reap the rewards.
A weary Carl Henkel trying to hang in. Brian Johnson with their second match point.
That set's real tight.
And tapping over the top is Henkel.
Nice play for Carl Hinkle. A very tight set. He just reaches high and bangs off Karch's block.
So Kevin Wong will serve it. His team down big by 6. They'll try Karch. And Karch tapping over the top.
Karch, Karai, and Adam Johnson, excuse me, Chris, they pass the ball and set the ball so well that when you're trying to stage a comeback, they're a very tough team to come back on because they're so consistent in their siding out.
Third match point for Karai and Johnson. Carl Henkel over the top and down.
Even at match point, Karch Karai getting his hands on everything, spinning off the net, just unable to come out with that Carl Hinkle spike.
A good look at the Mikasa Beach Champ, the official ball of the 2000 Olympics. Henkel will serve it. Will he go to Karch or back on Johnson? Working on Johnson. Good little jumper. Johnson right down the pipe, dig. Wong. And Henkel keeps it in play. Nicely done. Here comes Johnson. That's tight. Karch. Dig by Wong. Big play here. Chance for a point. Yes.
A couple of nice things in that rally, Chris. First, you mentioned it early. Carl Hinkle coming up with a nice jump serve, getting Karai and Johnson in trouble. And then Kevin Wong hustling to save the ball here and then moving well defensively behind the block to finish the point.
Always nice to have a little put-away power at the end of a long rally. So Carl Henkel will serve. That was a point. Back to the jumper. And Johnson puts it away. Are you surprised that Henkel and Wong haven't been doing any jump serves?
Well, apparently with the lack of wind that's out there, both teams feeling like they're just not able to get enough oomph on the ball to get the teams in trouble without using the wind. So a lot of teams using the floaty all weekend here in Huntington Beach, and Adam Johnson going for 4th match point.
For the championship. Henkel, and this could be it. Johnson with a dig. And Johnson puts it away. That will do it. Karch Karai and Adam Johnson win the U.S. Olympic Challenge. Karai and Johnson, their 11th win together, and they will represent the United States in the upcoming Pan American Games.
Great finish for Karch and Adam, and just a wonderful tournament. Control, defense, and just great all-round play all weekend long, finishing with another open win for that team.
Two decisive factors in this match, hitting percentage and digs. Now for the check presentation, let's join Bill Powers.
I want to thank and congratulate all the players over the last 4 days, and in particular, Karch and Adam for winning, and I'd like to present you with a check for $20,000. Congratulations, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. A marvelous performance for Adam Johnson and Karch Karai. Adam, was the plan to jump on Wong and Henkel early?
Well, it seemed to work for us yesterday. We had a tight match against them, 15-12, and I think early on in that match we went to Kevin a little bit more and found that maybe going over to Carl might work. He didn't seem to be setting the ball that great, and that was our strategy right from the beginning.